Okay, so we have this figure that is this, you have two similar figures that are inside. You have one larger that has a scale factor to the smaller figure. Okay, there's a couple things that you can do with this. We could also use scale factor, but I really think understanding the proportion is what they're looking at. So we know we have two rectangles, which lets us know that these two sides are congruent to each other, right? Now, the easiest thing to do on these is to go ahead and separate out the figures. So you can look at them as two separate figures, so it's easier to visualize the proportionality. So you have your larger rectangle, which is 10, and then the side length is going to be x plus that 2 section, okay? So this, then the smaller figure is going to be our side length here, our smaller rectangle. Oops, didn't do that little, I guess it's because I didn't do it continuous. There we go. All right, this figure is going to be 7.5 and x, okay? Our side length is x. Now, it's important to note that when you're using proportionality, that you use the side lengths proportion to each other. So x plus 2 is related to x. And then you have 10 is proportional to 7.5. You could do x plus 2 over 10 is equal to x plus 7.5 as long as you start with that same relationship, okay? Now, we're going to go ahead and write up and set up a proportion. So I'm going to say x plus 2 over x, and that's going to be equal to, I need to make sure that I start with the same rectangle. So I started with the x plus 2, the larger rectangle. So when I go on top, I'm going to keep the larger rectangle on top. And then I'm going to do the 7.5 on the bottom. Now we're going to do cross products. So that means I'm doing 7.5 times x plus 2. Now we're dealing with a decimal here, and I want to go ahead and simplify that 10 over 7.5. That simplifies to, if I take that, that's going to become x plus 2 over x is going to be equal to 4 over 3. Okay, you can just use your calculator and you can simplify it that way. When you're taking the test, that should allow you to use a TI-84. So in which case, I'm going to show you a real trick as soon as I find and remember where I put my calculator. Here it is. Oh, I gotta download it. Dang it. Come on. Sorry about that. Okay. You can download this on your phone. So I'm going to say 10 divided by 7.5, and I'm going to hit enter. Now I want to see what it looks like as a fraction. So on this TI-84, I'm going to hit math, and then as you can see, I have fractions, and then I'm going to hit enter, enter, and that gives me the 4/3. So it gives me my fraction fully simplified. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and do my cross products. And this is going to become 4x is equal to 3 times x plus 2. We're now going to distribute that 3. So this becomes 4x is equal to 3x plus 6. I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides. That gives me x is equal to 6. Now, be careful. X is the smaller figure, so that's this. So the larger figure is going to be 6 plus 2, which gives me the 8. Now, so the other method that you used would give you the right answer. The problem that I didn't like about that is you're saying x minus 2, and that's going to leave you room to make errors with negative signs. That's representing x. You're also saying x in a different way. You're saying that this whole side length is x, so then that's why you would use the x minus 2. I think it's going to be easier for you in the long run, looking at proportionals, to break it out like this way and also to understand it. Now, there's a couple of ways that you can set up the proportionality to make it a little bit different. But really, this is pretty straightforward. If you're going to let the yellow side, that's going to be over the yellow side, and that's going to be equal to the green side over the green side. And just make sure that you start